heart and hope to die. Welcome to my dark side.
Good evening. Welcome to the Jesse James Show. I'm your host, Jesse James, retired Green Beret and entrepreneur, just trying to make my way in podcasting. All right, today I got a great show for you guys. It's about Maduro, Venezuela, and Trump. Man, it's getting to be crazy times. You have, check this out. This is a great video. Actually, I got a bunch of videos, some impact videos of all of the strikes that have happened on these Venezuelan boats, on these Venezuelan semi-subs. They're all cartels. Like, Venezuela is just a giant cartel. And that's how it makes its money. It makes its money off of oil and drugs. Literally drugs. Any way they can get drugs into America, that's their way to do it. And it's no coincidence that they are working with China to do all of this, right? So you have this crazy network of powerful drug cartels. I would even call the U.S. government, especially the CIA, a just large cartel, 100%. You got to think of Afghanistan. They were just pumping out opium out of there from the entire war, 2003, even before that, right? Trying to pump it into China, into Russia, into our adversaries, and into that network. That's exactly why opium production was so high throughout and the entire war. And then somehow in 2023, right after the war ended, opium died out. You know, it's over. Opium's gone. And then fentanyl's crazy all over America, right? Fentanyl. Where's it coming from? China. Entering through Mexico and Venezuela, right? I swear to God, all these countries are just trying to overthrow another country constantly with drugs, subversion, influence, money, economics, trade. That's all it is a constant battle of who's on top. And America's been on top for a long time, so we got a target on our back this entire time, especially now. They felt us weak under Biden, but under Trump, they're not. They're seeing the opposite. Same thing with Venezuela. So Maduro, his time is getting close. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying, but something's going to happen here pretty soon. You got the girl from Venezuela, the activist that ended up getting the Nobel Peace Prize. Good on her. That was a perfect psyop to get more people onto the Venezuelan side with Trump to get rid of Maduro, right? All right, so take a look at these videos right here. This is Maduro. Oh, man. All right, this is a video of Maduro begging. This isn't to Trump. I mean, it definitely is a message to Trump. But this is to his people right here. Watch this.
Not war. Just peace. Forever. Peace forever. No guerra. No querer guerra.
No war.
No crazy war. No a la guerra loca. No crazy.
You know what's funny? He was just saying that he got that phone, that exact phone right there, as a gift from China. That was his gift. China's owning him, tracking everything about him. That's funny. Great gift.
No crazy war. Please. Yes, peace forever.
Man, Maduro's just begging to end this war. But, when you look at Maduro and he's talking about peace, you got to think what he's done to his people for years. There was a point where it was complete starvation. They were eating zoo animals. The zoo animals looked so emaciated. It was disgusting. So sad what they did to those people, his own people. And then that right there is Maduro's peace. Check this out. This is how Maduro treats his people. His own people during peacetime. Look at this. Running them over, not even helping them out. They don't care. They just keep doing it nonstop. That's peace to Maduro right there. You see that? This is well said by Michael Welling. There is no peace with Maduro. Maduro literally will sacrifice his people for anything. And then you have Donald Trump coming in here. I think this is, I want to say 10 or 11. I think it was. I need to look back at the numbers, but it's something like that. 10 or 11 strikes on drug cartel boats, Venezuelan drug cartel boats. The Tren de Agua, the ones that they let here in America, and then now we're trying to kick them all out. They took over whole apartment buildings, American apartment buildings. They took them over. Look at this. Boom. Dead. Gone. In flames. Let's check out this one. Here's another one. This one is September 15th. Gone. Right? This is the October 3rd one and the September 15th one. October 3rd. Splash. That's one thing I miss about the military. Splash. Splash out. Look at this. What do you think those barrels are loaded down with? Fishing gear? 3 engines. Venezuelan boat, 3 engines. Loaded down to go fishing. October 17th. Splash. Oh, look. Let's check out this one. What's this one? Same thing. Barrels of something. Splash. So this is just like a combination of all of everything that was going on up to October 21st. Just a few
Breaking news coming in within the past hour. A naval blockade in the Caribbean is taking shape right now. The United States has escalated its military presence near Venezuela. 3 destroyers have been deployed off the coast. The stated mission, to target drug cartels now labeled as terrorist organizations, including the powerful Tren de Aragua. The response was immediate. Officials in Caracas announced the mobilization of 4.5 million militia fighters. Analysts warn this is the largest military call-up in the country's history. But that's not all. The U.S. has expanded patrols across the southern Caribbean. Naval and air units are intensifying surveillance with a clear message: control the sea lanes and choke the cartels. At the same time, more than 4,500 U.S. Marines.
You got to look at that right there, right? What'd they say? Maduro's calling his own militia up, 4 million plus militia to go fight against the U.S. power, right? So he's over here selling all the drugs he wants into America, all the oil he can get out to Russia to help the war, all the oil he can get to, China to help out their economy, while he imports all of this Chinese refinement equipment, things like that to help out the oil drilling. They'll send in all of this stuff, build up the structure, and then Russia will arm them to the teeth with whatever they need, S-300, so on, everything like that. And then he calls up on 4.5 million or 4 million people to try to, of his own people, to fight the U.S. government. Like, you got to be kidding me, man. Really? Man, I think it's funny. And then he begs for peace. Begs for peace. I don't know. So shortly after that, also, somewhere in, I forgot when they got this semi-sub. I know it was within probably like the last week or so, they got a semi-sub. Man, these semi-subs, probably to me, are probably some of the most high-tech equipment that these guys probably have. And probably when it comes to like these go fast boats, semi-subs, something like that, this is the most expensive way they probably have made to get whatever they need over there. And now Trump is just like, splash out, they're gone, right? So these semi-subs are getting destroyed. So I asked Gronk, I was like, what's the total Venezuelan drug boats Trump has destroyed? And the answer was 10. I thought it was something like that. All right, so we were looking at 10 of them getting destroyed, right? So timeline started September 2nd, and it's gone through all the way up to today in present time. So in Trump's response to that, he sent over these B-52s, right? Like, they're solid. But these B-52s and F-35s literally went over there so everybody could track them. They could see them. They know what's going on right off of the coast of Venezuela. And they just flew back and forth, whatever they wanted to do. No aircraft, from my knowledge, of the Venezuelan army got up into the sky at all, right? I mean, why would you? There's no way. If they sent whatever plane they got, an F-16, if they sent an F-16 up into the air, it would have been shot out of the sky instantly, because those F-35s are out there somewhere. And Venezuela has no way to track them, no way to even know where they're at, how many of them are out there. And they know these B-52s are out there. But those F-35s that were flying with them probably had more ammunition and more firepower and more capabilities. That single air flight, or I don't know what you would call it in the Air Force, but all of those aircraft up in the air probably had more ammunition than all of the Venezuelan army at one time. So, I mean, that's pretty crazy to me. Like, that's the world we're living in right now. And Venezuela wants to poke the bear. And we're not a paper tiger. We're not a paper bear, however you want to say it. This is literally, they're poking us. And it's mama bear with their cubs.
Fox News alert, B-52 bombers are flying off the coast of Venezuela. Trump's not bluffing. Right now, more than 10,000 U.S. soldiers are built up in the Caribbean, on ships in Puerto Rico, locked and loaded. Special operations helicopters were just seen flying 90 miles from Venezuela's coast. This chopper unit's used by Delta Force, Navy SEALs, and the Green Berets. The Black Ops were spotted off the coast of Trinidad. They're very important for search and rescue missions. Also spotted little birds. They're smaller but faster, designed for quick insertion of special operators behind enemy lines. The Ghost was also confirmed to be in the Caribbean. That's the nickname for MV Ocean Trader. It's the kind of ship that doesn't want to be found. It's designed for black ops and special missions because it's dark and blends in with cargo. There's more. 10% of the U.S. naval power is now in the region. It's a major shift. There's subs, several destroyers, and F-35 fighters in Puerto Rico. That's on top of all the coke boats getting smoked to pieces by the week. Kilos of cocaine are washing ashore. Don't tell Hunter. Dozens of bad hombres becoming shark bait. It's got Maduro's attention. He's the dictator of the narco state, a very bad hombre, and we just doubled the bounty on his head.
You know what? Quick, I want to add to this, man. It makes me wonder where Hunter Biden is right now. You think he's in the Caribbean just like, oh, man, I can get a kilo, get a whole barrel, just random floating out there. He's probably hunting it like he was hunting the, what do you say, the Parmesan cheese in the carpet.
It's now 50 mil. According to the New York Times, Maduro offered us a dominant stake in Venezuela's oil, gold, and mineral wealth and promised to cut ties with Russia and China. And Trump and Rubio said no. That tells me the gunboat diplomacy is going to end up with no Maduro and a Venezuela aligned with us, not Putin or Xi. American action in Latin America hasn't always ended well. Look at the Bay of Pigs. Other times, it's a piece of cake. It's our backyard. And Trump's just reestablishing the Monroe Doctrine, a.k.a. the Donroe Doctrine. Hopefully, a Venezuelan general does the right thing and collects the $50 million bounty. No one wants a messy conflict in South America. Maduro controls drug traffickers who are pretty strapped. They have military-grade weapons. And Biden let hundreds of thousands of Venezuelans into the country. They could be activated. But if Trump can pull this off and kick China and Russia out of Venezuela, after what he did with the Iranians, it'll give him a lot of power to deter Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan.
All right, you guys let me know what you guys think about that. Man, a lot of it's funny, a lot of it's true. This is before what we know today. We'll get along into that information and stuff. But 10% already in the Caribbean for the naval forces, submarines, boats, CIA assets. Even Donald Trump coming out and saying that that he authorized covert CIA operations against Maduro in Venezuela. Like, so all of these assets are on that edge. You know, U.S. Special Forces are either collecting intel, maybe there's already operators inside. We heard something like that. Here we go. This is like Trump is maybe planning a land strike because he's already setting up this, literally. Let's listen to it real quick.
On land.
Well, I don't want to tell you exactly, but we are certainly looking at land now because we've got the sea very well under control. We've had a couple of days where there isn't a boat to be found. And that, I view that as a good thing, not a bad thing. But we had tremendous amounts coming in by boats, by very expensive boats. You know, they have a lot of money, very fast, very expensive boats that were pretty big. And the way you look at it is every boat that we knock out, we save 25,000 American lives.
Impressive indeed. And while strikes on Venezuelan...
I mean, that's very impressive, to be honest. Like, so they've taken out, 10 boats already and that semi-sub? So I would say that semi-sub would be at least double, because that thing's really carrying some weight. Moving slow, full to the brim, just chugging along through the waves. So that's probably at least double. So if you got a 50,000 semi-sub and 10 of those boats, 250,000 plus the 50,000, well, you're looking, roughly 250,000 American lives just saved from those 10 boats alone and creating a blockade. Think about the same thing that's coming out of Mexico, doing the exact same numbers, right? If not more. If you could just completely shut down that border. If we could do the same thing for Canada, just lock down that entire border. Because as you know, Canada's bought and paid for by China now too. So you got Mexico, bought and paid for by China. You have Cuba, Venezuela, bought and paid for by China. All right, so you have Canada bought and paid for by Asia now. They just said that they don't want to have trade with America, and America's like, all right, we're done. Shut you down too. Boom. And then you have a complete blockade of Venezuela going on. Canada, oh man, good luck. You know what they're going to be doing? I guarantee Canada is going to be selling oil to China because China just lost Venezuela. They're losing Russia because Ukraine is really sanctioning Russia with them drones and long-range missiles. So, all right, so here we go. Back into the Caribbean now for those hard topics, right? You have a new escalation that just came out. The Secretary of War, right, Pete Hegseth, let's go, just sent the USS Gerald Ford towards Venezuela. You got to look at this, too. This Gerald Ford is the best carrier we have in our arsenal. And then you also have the F-35. I think it's like a Lightning something. But it also has that ability to take off straight up and down and like short runways and stuff like that. So that's awesome. But this whole carrier group is going over to Venezuela or the Caribbean. So, I mean, Venezuela better be begging. This is the end of it. This is all they got left, it is literally the best in class carrier that America has. So, all right, so you guys let me know what you guys think. Are we going to invade Venezuela? He has to get Congress's approval. Trump's already been saying that he's already had negotiations with Congress and talked to them. He's got to get their approval if he wants to invade and start a war. I hope he doesn't start a war. Let's just choke him out. Completely choke them out. Let's own the Gulf of America and lock down the Caribbean. Make sure you guys give me a like, share, and subscribe with all your friends. Comment down below. Give me your thoughts. Let me know what you think about this. This is the Jesse James Show. Need some more subscribers. Help me out. Help this small entrepreneur out. Veteran owned too. All right. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
Cross my heart and hope to die. Welcome to my dark side.